catching diamonds in the rain, letting precious water through the drain. Storms were dancing in their line, past that we could never ride. Oh, they were dancing way up high.
All right, what is going on, everybody? Here we are for the Challenger League draft, our second draft of our 3 leagues. Tonight, I'm once again joined by Jacob and Anonymous, who are going to be helping me out. Talk a little bit about the draft tonight. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm excited. It should be
I'm
should be a lot of fun. How you doing, Anonymous?
I'm doing pretty good. Very excited for this draft tonight as well.
I know. Hopefully it lives up to what we had last night. We had a lot of interesting times last night. I'm sure a lot of you guys are here for that. We had, I don't know, there was all sorts of stuff. We had some drama going down with the AAA members and me taking one of the AAA members unintentionally, but it seems like everything's kind of sorted out with that. There's potential for some trades yesterday. Jacob was getting robbed at one point. Everything's all good. By the way, Jacob is here. He's fine for the most part.
Yeah, can confirm nothing got stolen. I'm still alive. The other guy is still alive. So, yeah, we're chilling.
Still alive. So, there you have it. We almost had a Fight Club, I think, going on at one point too. But hopefully with all of that, we can have a nice fun stream here today. Hope we get some some interesting things going on. So yeah, we're gonna look right at this draft order here that I've got for you guys on stream. So you can kind of see on the top once again we've got the ticker scrolling by, so you can see whose picks are up next, who's picked already, what's upcoming, all that sort of stuff. So taking a look at this on stream here, you guys can see that Drake's have the overall pick, for the first overall pick, followed by Samurai, Vortex, Ascension, Motion, Bishops, Spectre, and Corsa. So that's the first round right there. And you can also see in round 4, we do actually, this is a league where 4 of our GMs are playing in. So we've got Unique, myself, the Chipmunk Man, and Hypernova all already on rosters for Challenger League. So you can see that scrolling by on the top as well. So those are their 4th round picks. So yeah, without any further ado, I think we're gonna head right into round number 1. What are you guys looking forward to tonight?
I'm just looking forward to some drama. I'm gonna be real with you. I think that a lot of our GMs are prepared for tonight's draft, and I couldn't be more excited to see what comes of tonight. Who's gonna steal who, and the trades that are gonna come afterwards.
Anonymous, you got anything else to add that you're looking forward to?
I'm just looking forward to the drama, like what happened yesterday with some of the player steals. Also, kind of looking to see how things shape out with the roster that I'm looking to put in.
True. We've got 3 GMs in the call, so you guys can kind of get a little bit of insight onto, what we're going to be thinking in the draft. We'll try to answer some of your guys' questions, give a little bit of our insight between our picks, and, hope we can analyze some of the other picks as well, see what's going on. So without any further ado, we are going to get this bad boy underway, and put Drake's will now be on the clock. Now on the clock. Okay, so I've got that going. Got a copy that is now on the clock message. Gonna be using that a lot tonight. So Drake's, the first overall pick of the draft. This team is headed by Naturalis. I believe, I can't remember yesterday. I can't remember what pick he had yesterday, but I think he's a little bit lower on in the draft. I think he was 6th or 7th. So he's starting out on top here. The number 1 pick is always an interesting one.
I am just messaging some of the people that I'm looking at getting, trying to make sure that things are still working here and there.
Got it.
Yeah, Naturalis, I believe. Yeah, Naturalis. He is definitely going to be um, first overall pick as it's on the screen, and it's going to be one of the most important picks here.
Ooh, and so yeah, we can see 12 Bram is out on the top there, 1546. So our Challenger League actually, this should be a lot closer and hopefully a little bit easier for us as an MMR cap than the Prospect League yesterday. But you can see this league ranges from 1325 MMR all the way up to 1550. And we just got the first pick in, the first overall pick. The Drakes are going to select Ventus onto their team. So dropping down a little bit, 1528, they're going to take Ventus off the board, and he is heading to the Drakes.
Quite an interesting move. I can say that although I was looking at Ventus, that was not a pick for me. So you know what? Good luck at Drakes. Hopefully I get my players. That's for sure.
I know. I do have some people in mind right here. Near the top. Obviously, again, I have the fourth pick, kind of right in the middle, which is super nice again for me to get the fourth overall pick here. So I've got my eyes on a couple people, but as always, it's kind of a little bit of a a little bit of a balancing game because you don't know who the people above you are gonna pick, so you got to have all those options open.
Oh yeah. I personally have a whole second team selected if my first three or first four, I should say, go underway. So, yeah, I'm definitely prepared.
He's good to go. Okay, so yeah, Sick actually changed his name. So next pick that comes out here is for Sick. He's on the board. Discord name didn't change. There we go. It's Astonish there. So that is Sick. So Samurai are gonna go down the board, select Sick at 1524 MMR, taking him out of the way. So one of our media members helping out with the Twitter. So he's going to Samurai. So Hypernova, he's here today, hopefully redeeming himself, giving himself a good draft order here. He's got the second overall pick, which is nice for him. So
oh yeah. I'm definitely curious to see how these GMs go about using the MMR cap to their advantage, or that influencing their decision. I know yesterday it was an interesting process and new to some of these guys, so I'm curious to see tonight how that affects their decision.
yeah, definitely. We did have a little bit of issue with the MMR cap yesterday. We believe it was attributed to the wide range of MMRs that we had to deal with, for anywhere from Diamond 1 to Champ 2, which is 990, 935 actually, all the way up to 1325 is the lowest there. So we had a wide range to deal with, but I think we got sorted out and we talked to the GMs, and hopefully these MMR caps would be a lot better for everybody. Obviously this is our first season, so we've got a lot to learn. We're learning along with the rest of you guys here, so just trust that we're trying to do our best here, and yeah, hopefully everything turns out for the best, and we can always change stuff and adapt as it goes.
Absolutely.
And with the next pick in the draft here, Vortex, led by the Chipmunk Man, is going to select Ore onto his team. So nice selection there. I knew Chipmunk Man was he was eyeing up Ore. I've seen it in his Discord. I knew he was eyeing him up, so good pick to Chipmunk's second player there. So we got two teams already with two players. So we got Hypernova and Sick, or Astonish, and then we got Chipmunk Man and Ore. And now this will put myself onto the clock here. So Ascension is now on the clock. So I do have somebody in mind here, and fortunately enough for me, they are still available on this board. So I did a lot of messaging around yet again to try to figure out what I wanted to do. Here, one sec. Let me update this ticker here. But I looked around quite a bit, trying to figure out who I should draft, because as a streamer here, I've got to have my options open because I'm not going to really be able to message people as we go. So I've talked to a lot of people, and I've decided who I want to go with here. So let me get this typed out in chat.
I'm feeling real nauseous right now. I'm really hoping you don't snipe one of my guys, man.
I'm hoping I don't either. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select Azuro onto Ascension here. So
All right.
Azuro to Ascension. I'm hoping that wasn't your pick, but Azuro, welcome. Hopefully we can do some good things this season. Oh no, the sigh. I don't know. That's bad? Was that it? Was that your guy, Jacob?
That wasn't my first pick, but let's just say that the bad blood is already starting.
Oh no! Oh no! We got some beef going on already, dude.
The beef starts.
We're only 4 picks in, and the beef is going down already. I'm sorry. I did have conversation with Azuro. We talked quite a bit about whether he wanted to be on the team or not. So, and with him being the 4th spot on there, I was hoping that maybe I could get to him. Obviously, there's still some high MR players on there. So
absolutely.
I dropped a little bit down again. I did kind of the same thing I did yesterday, is to where I dropped down a little bit. I looked about the 4th. I was a 4th pick yesterday. I looked at the 4th pick there as a 4th pick today. So I was looking down around that 4th or 5th range because usually you expect these people at the top to go right down the list. I know actually a couple of these people. Ness is on our recruitment team. He's pretty solid. Conladon, I know him. These people are GC material. So GC is at 15 MMR. So these players up here from 8th on up have already hit. They've already hit GC. So they're definitely high caliber players that people could draft.
Yeah. I'm
Looks like we got the next pick. Sorry to cut you off. We got the next pick in here. Motion is gonna go ahead. Anonymous is gonna select Dreamless. So Anonymous, what was your thought process here with going down and taking Dreamless for your first pick?
I am just talking with one of the players who I want to draft with, and he wants me to try to pick up him as well. So I did so. Hopefully things don't go awry for me though.
So going for that chemistry, kind of like what Jacob talked about. He knows the guy, and if you have 2 people that have the chemistry already, could set you up perfectly.
Yeah. You guys are slowly just biting away at my roster, huh?
Oh no, we get
think
tickets
it's funny?
too. Goodness.
You guys think it's funny? Okay.
We knew we're inside your mind right now. Got that mind gamer going.
I have my list up, and that's two players. That's two players that I had originally thought. So.
Oh my goodness. Well, there are still the 3 highest MR players, and Bishops is on the clock here. So hopefully Cajun doesn't go stealing anyone else. We also got Ness in the chat here. Second highest MMR, says he's making a list of everyone who has wronged me. So I like it. I like it coming out there from Ness. So obviously a competitor here. He knows he's getting passed up.
Oh.
And speaking of getting passed up no more. Bishops are going to go ahead and select Ness with their first overall pick.
I think Ness is a good player. That he was one of the people that I was looking at, and I wanted him, but at the same time, I'm not here to make enemies, and I figured that Ness would be very desired. So I didn't want to take him from anybody. I'm trying to be friends. Maybe I want to do some trading with you guys here and there, some of the other GMs. So I'm trying to be cool, but I mean, Austin, Anonymous, you guys are both on my list. You guys are going down.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, you know what? I think I just made enemies out of all the GMs so far. So I made enemies with Cajun yesterday, taking the 3rd AAA member. Now Jacob stealing his guys. So it's been crazy. But let's see how it goes. So that's gonna put Jacob on the clock here for Spectre, and your pick is in.
He selected already.
Your pick is in.
Yeah.
Who are you taking here, Jacob?
I'm taking mixer.com/Beto. Okay. I did recruiting on all the guys. I did recruiting on Beto. I did recruiting on Dreamless. I did recruiting on Azuro. I did recruiting on all the guys that I wanted, and him for my very first pick, he was just right. He fit the description. I want him. That was my first, and I'm glad that he could be on my team and he was still available.
Perfect. Yeah, I do know Beto. Me and Beto do go back a little bit, and obviously, I mean, at least in my opinion, I think Beto's a pretty cool guy, and I think he's a good selection there for your first pick in the first round.
Thank you.
So now we are going to head to the last pick for round number 1 in Corsa. This team is headed by Unique. He's got the last pick of round number 1. He's going to have back-to-back picks in the Snake Draft. So we'll have to see what he's going to decide to do. He knows that he's got some time. He's going to have 2 picks back to back. So he's building that roster up. He's already got himself on the roster. So he's basically, with his 2 picks here, he's going to have 3 people on his roster, which is pretty powerful for his first 2 picks.
I'm hoping he doesn't snipe another guy of mine. I may just have an emotional breakdown.
I think you just gotta say these guys on stream so we know. Just stay away from Jacob's guys, because obviously there's something going on.
He's not happy about people
you got
his players.
Everybody's making the list. Everybody's gonna get some throughout this season. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man, and it looks like Unique's pick is in, and Corsa is gonna select Colrocks. So he was right in the middle there. I believe he is 1466 MMR, so Corsa's got their second player in Colrocks.
Korox was definitely a solid player. I was looking at him earlier, and he's definitely going to be an interesting player to play against. I think that Unique picked well on this one.
Yeah, I think Unique had a pretty good draft yesterday as well. So he's going looking pretty good, and he's going to be once again back on the clock as we head into round number 2. So with our snake draft for our inaugural season here, we're going to have Unique going back to round out his roster.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I do go back with Colrocks a little bit here and there with another league. I was in his tryouts, and I was not one of his main looks, but we do definitely talk with one another a little bit here and there, and pretty cool guy to pick up.
Well, nice. There we go. Unique looks like he's got himself a winner right there, and his next pick, his first pick of round number 2, is also in. He is going to go up the list, and he is selecting Stites. So Unique has already got his roster looking pretty solid there. He's got consisting of him, Unique, Stites, and Colrocks. So he's got 3 there. He's got a cap room left of 1,400. You can see there for his team in Corsa. So you can go down the list a little bit. Anyone from Vanity Bop on down. So definitely got some options there, and he's already got his roster ready to go. It looks like.
Absolutely.
Next on the clock is going to be Jacob yet again. So Jacob, you've got one guy locked down on your roster already. What are you thinking right here? Coming up this next one.
Well, in my research that I've been doing, there was one guy that stood out to me. It may be because he might have slid into my DMs last night. It may not be, but I feel extremely confident about this player. He has, from what I've looked at, he's made a decent amount of progress. He's very dedicated. His head is in the game. I have a really good feeling about this guy, and so I'd like to give a warm welcome to Redwater.
Ooh,
as he joins Spectre.
Ooh.
He's going down the list too, all the way down to 1355. You must feel pretty confident in Redwater here.
I'm extremely confident in Redwater. That 1355, it's going to help me out. It's going to give me 2 higher players, but also, I've looked at his ability. I've looked at the tracker, and Redwater shows a lot of good signs to me. And I'm really confident in his abilities. So, yeah.
Fair enough. So Redwater, we got Redwater and Beto coming together here so far for Jacob. So not bad on the draft there. And now we're going to put Bishops on the clock. So this is Cajun Miller's team. He's already selected once in this draft. He selected Ness, who is wronged by everyone in this draft apparently already. So I mean, Ness dropped a little bit to Cajun, but now Cajun's got to look for a second man to come play with Ness.
Yeah, it's I'm curious to see who he's gonna pick. Ness being higher up there, I don't think you want to keep your team super separated, and so I'm curious to see who he's gonna pull, especially with the MMR cap that he's gonna be dealing with. There's a lot of strategy that goes into this.
Yeah, definitely. And there are still some higher people on the board. It's not going down the list again. We still have 12 Bram all the way at the top right there. That's 1546. I mean, maybe some people are scared of taking that cap hit. Maybe they built their rosters, in other ways. But Conladon also up there. I know Conladon. He would be a solid pickup for sure if someone was interested to go that route. There's still a lot of people that are still up there that have hit GC already. So these people that are down below haven't quite hit GC yet. Well, maybe they have since we recorded their peak MMR, but these are their peaks at the time that we recorded them. So that's what we've got. And with that, the next pick is in for Bishops. They are going to go ahead and they are going to select Mully.
Mully, good pick. Yeah. I think that Cajun knows what he's doing here. I think that he has a game plan. I think he's been following his game plan. I'm really curious to see how they stack up in the weekly matches because it looks like he's going to have a stacked team.
Definitely, we'll have to see because Ness was a really solid pickup at the top, second overall. Mully also, I believe that's 11th where he was sitting at. So yep. Two people that are up there, a little bit higher MMR. So I'm curious to see where he's going to go all the way down because he's got to fit under that MMR cap. Still has 2771 remaining in his cap, but that's something, that's also a challenge that I'm sure with all of us, most of us being new to MMR caps, it's something we had to look at yesterday and kind of take into account, like how do we get the people that we want, build that chemistry that we want, but also fit under those MMR caps.
Yeah, that's I think a big reason why 12 Bram hasn't been selected yet. That's a big hit onto everybody's cap, and they may not want to take that. It's something we saw yesterday as well, and I think that was a big decision making in all the GM's thoughts. Is do we take that hit? It just may not be worth it. So, I mean, it's curious. I'm super curious to see when he goes.
Yeah, definitely. He's still sitting up there. Maybe people are kind of waiting to see how they can, maneuver that around with their MMR. Maybe they're trying to, take those lower people and, keep that room left if he's still available. Because, obviously these people, like we said, they've hit GC before. So they are people that you can definitely go after and definitely know that, they're probably going to be, if not the best, some of the best players in the Challenger League. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with that, Anonymous, your pick is in for Motion. Why don't you tell us who you selected and maybe give us a little insight as to why you went that route?
I selected Bravo RL, and I talked with him. He wanted me to pick up Dreamless with him, and he also wanted me to get Ventus with him, but unfortunately Naturalis took him, so he's on my hit list now. Trying to make sure that he loses in the season.
Dang.
But Bravo messaged me when I was talking with him and Ventus not too long ago, and he goes, "Hey, I'm still looking for a team to pick me up. Can you pick up me and Ventus if you can, along with Dreamless?" And from there, Ventus got picked up. I made sure to grab Dreamless since he was higher up on the draft list, and then make sure to grab Bravo, and then now we'll see how things shift out from here.
Fair enough. So another steal going down here that we've seen. This time, Anonymous is being wronged by Naturalis. Yesterday was me stealing the third AAA member from Cajun's team, the Rooks yesterday. So. And with that, I am now going to be on the clock. So my roster I've already got two on my roster. It consists of myself and Azuro on the roster there so far. So I went a little bit higher on my first pick, and my third pick is actually still on the draft board. I haven't had to change anything up quite yet. It's looking pretty solid for me. So I am gonna go ahead and go down the list here, and I am going to select Proxy Lowles.
Proxy. That's a good pick. That's a really good pick. I was looking at him. He actually was on the list for me. He wasn't my immediate pick, but he's a good player. I respect you for making that decision. You're definitely gonna have a good guy there.
Thank you. Yeah, I talked to Proxy quite a bit there. I was trying to figure out his availability and all this sort of stuff. So I was talking to him, trying to see what's going on with him, and I recognized him from Six Man. So a lot of these people, as a GM here, the first season, we're kind of trying to scout the best we can without really knowing a lot of these people. So I saw Proxy in Six Mans. I knew he was a pretty good guy there. So I went ahead. I talked to him and decided to bring him on board. So that's my third guy so far.
Congratulations, Proxy. Absolutely, he's a solid player.
I would like to also note that Bravo RL was also being looked at by Naturalis. So there you go, Nat.
Oh boy.
Just take my player, I take yours.
It's
Oh.
going down the gamesmanship right here. Man.
And gosh, there must be some cows around here because I'm smelling a lot of beef.
Definitely. So, yeah, looking at these rosters so far, a couple of them are filled out. We see my roster and Unique's roster they both have three people already. Next on the clock is Vortex and the Chipmunk Man. He is looking to also fill out his roster. He's already taken Ore with his first pick, and now he's looking for his second pick to fill out his roster here. So he's still got obviously a good amount of cap room there. He's got 29.55, so a lot of room here. He might decide to go up the board. If there was anyone to go up the board, I think Chipmunk Man, he might go up the board. Like I was saying, I've talked a lot about Conladon just because I know this guy. I think he might be a decent pick up there. 12 Bram as well. I don't know too much about 12 Bram, but obviously that 1546 all the way at the top, that is still someone, that's a good potential right there. Like we talked about, high MMR, this is the best we can do with, placing skills on these people. That's their potential. That's the max potential that 12 Bram has, and it's better than everyone else so far in the Challenger League.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really sweating here. I just realized that my pick is quite a ways away, and so far my players that I had selected originally are dropping like flies. So I'm nervous. I'm sweating again, but that right now it's not about me. It's about Vortex. I'm really curious to see who he picks. AKA, please don't pick my guy.
I know. Jacob's guys are getting snatched out here left and right. So let's see what Chipmunk is going to do. He appears to be typing, so we'll have to see. Like we talked about, there's a lot of people still on the board. I know Sheriff up there. We got OBR. Eliako is still there. Chosky as well. Trippy T, Piano Addict. There's a good couple of people up there still, 1450, 1440 plus. But Chipmunk Man is going to go all the way down to the bottom. This is interesting. He goes all the way down for the last player MMR-wise in team. Goes all the way down to 1326.
I think that might be a tactical move. Maybe he knows team, but I know something that was a potential for me is picking that bottom guy. That way, my last picks are going to be high up. I'll have more room here. You know what I'm saying? So, it could be a tactical pick. Maybe he knows something about team that we don't. But he's got some up his sleeve for sure. Chipmunk knows what he's doing. So I'm kind of nervous, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this is also a guy that I knew. He's recruited these guys before. Obviously, most of the GMs have done their research. So Chipmunk Man, like you said, he definitely knows something about team that we don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if team may clean up all of us, but time will tell that.
For sure. And with that, Samurai got put on the clock, and Hypernova, he's instantly ready with his pick. He's probably waiting anxiously, hoping Chipmunk didn't select his guy. And the Samurai are going to get their third member on the board, and they're going to select OBR.
OBR. That's one I honestly don't know anything about. I didn't look at him, so I don't know what to say. I'm sure he's a good player.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if he's scouting him out here, obviously it seemed like Hypernova was really quick on the trigger right there, so he was ready to go with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at the chat, it looks like we might have a Squishy impersonator. Oh,
Oh, it's Team. He's squishy, but he's not. JK. We all got
Okay.
pranked. We all got pranked. But with the last pick here, we got Drake's back on the clock. Drake's already again. Naturalis. He's got 2 picks back to back. These GMs are right on it. They see their guys and they're trying to snatch him up before anyone even gets to it. And Drake's are gonna select Chosky with their last pick in round number 2.
and another dagger to the heart. Another dagger to the heart.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
I kid you not. I could not make this up. If you guys were listening to me earlier, I had 2 full teams picked just in case. And now I have 2 players left. So I'm hoping that, I have 2 picks left. So I'm really hoping that these players are available for my draft.
Yeah. So yeah, Drake's going in again. Jacob is he's just taking it right to the, like you said, right to the heart. That is tough to watch. But we actually also have the second pick coming in from Drake's, the first pick of round number 3. They are going to go ahead and select Magma as well. So for Drake's here, they've got their roster rounded out with 3 people so far, with Ventus, Chosky, and Magma. So that will put the Samurai onto the clock here. This again is Hypernova. He is now selecting his final pick of the draft, as will a couple of GMs this round, due to them being placed automatically on their teams. So Samurai are now on the clock here.
I'm super curious to see who Chipmunk picks. He was hot on it with OBR. So, I'm not seeing him immediately, go ahead and make that pick. Maybe he wasn't confident. Maybe somebody just got picked. Maybe he was looking at Chosky or Magma. So I'm curious to see who he goes with.
Yeah, so something also to keep in mind is the MMR right here. So he's got to fit his 4th guy into the MMR. So Samurai right now, they have 1452 remaining. So they're looking at Trippy T on down to select here. It's interesting. A lot of these people still are chilling up there at those 1500 MMR. Teams really just kind of leaving those players around, going for the middle ground so far.
I'm really surprised, and that this, like I said earlier, this could be a tactical move. Maybe they want a lot of people that are in a similar category instead of having a couple from the top and a couple from the bottom. I could definitely see it, to be honest, I was not expecting some of these 1500 plus guys to be still sitting here right now. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, for sure. I think we saw something a lot like this in yesterday's draft, where a lot of GMs, I guess myself included, we went a little bit down the list, trying to get more of those middle guys kind of spread out a little bit. Yesterday necessarily wasn't my intention to be, have so much cap room remaining, but with the prospect league, there's a lot of range in there. So I was expecting, as in most drafts, people kind of they take the highest skilled player and just go down the list. So once that kind of happened, I had my guy in mind, in a 0 at 4. So me going back up to take these 1500s, really wouldn't make too much sense for me with the other players I had in mind as well. But I think everyone has their plan, and they just gotta try to follow through with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm super curious. Chipmunk still no sign of him. I'm thinking maybe Chosky or Magma was doing it for him potentially. But he's really taking some time to decide who he's gonna pick. It makes me curious who he's coming out with.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to see. There's still, yeah, on Hypernova's team here, there is still 1452. Yeah, so we can go anywhere from Trippy T on down. He can pretty much go anywhere he wants there. You got Trippy T, Piano Addict, Sleepy Beams, Wolfie, Official Rage, a name I cannot attempt to pronounce.
I'll go ahead and try it. I'm gonna
Alright.
say Labu. Lobu.
Lobu.
That's it.
It's definitely upside down. Whatever it is,
Oh,
it,
I
I can't tell. You gotta turn the head there. I
Currently upside down, and I am reading Nagul.
the goal. Okay, so
Let
maybe
me just do a handstand real quick.
Yeah, just turn it upside down. Flip that computer. Just take that monitor, turn it over. We'll see. So we're waiting on Hypernova to make his pick. It's been 3 minutes. I'll give him a little shoot him a little message.
he could have gotten summoned to something. Maybe something's going on in life. Who knows?
Could be.
Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have to see what he's gonna decide to do. He made his other picks really quickly, so maybe he's really thinking. Maybe he's trying to get these messages in. Because sometimes as a GM, if your picks aren't there, you've got to go quickly to that message, start messaging some of these draftees, see are they active. Sometimes all it takes is someone to respond to a DM. If you're a draftee still in the chat and you haven't been picked yet, you gotta keep your eyes open, because these GMs, if their picks get taken, they might start messaging you. And if you're active, I know if I was a GM and I kind of lost all my draft picks, I'd be start messaging some people too, and hopefully they respond, and
Yeah.
that's how you can definitely get onto a team. So
I can't lie. I am doing recruiting right now. As many of my players have gotten sniped, this is what I have to do. Heat of the moment. Having to flip the script a little bit and come up with a new game plan. You guys are all gonna pay for it in the season. I hope you know. I'm suing for emotional damages. And may the best team win.
may the best team win. He's suing, and may the
I do
best
not
team
recall.
win. I don't know if I inflict any emotional damages, but you know what? I guess we'll see you in court. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Have fun. I'm bringing the tops.
Of course. So, let's see what we're gonna do here. So yeah, Samurai Hypernova is still waiting on him here. He's taking his time. Give him a last chance here. Otherwise, he is once again going to be auto drafting. Not sure what's going on. Hypernova was instant on his last pick, so maybe this message will we'll get him going here.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Woo! I'm starting to sweat again. This stuck pig is starting to sweat again. All right, I don't know. I'm really nervous. I definitely think my team is going to be competitive, but my guys are dropping like flies. Like I said, shirt might have to come off. Good thing there's not a camera on me right now, because that wouldn't be a pretty sight.
I would probably agree with everything you're saying. I don't even want to see that.
Yeah, no.
So we'll give Hypernova, I'll give him a 20-second warning. Give him 20 seconds. Give him 20 seconds, otherwise we're gonna auto draft. So if his auto draft pick comes to it, it'd be the highest person under the MR cap, which would be Trippy T right there. So that'd be his last player at the 1445. So hopefully no one's looking at Trippy T. If you are, I apologize, but Hypernova, something must have came up here again. So.
Could be. Again, maybe this might be a strategy. We do not know. I'm really curious. I'm really curious to see if he comes in last minute with a decision.
We'll have to see. Give him about 10 more seconds here. I know I said 20, but we'll give him 30. Give him about 10 more seconds to make his pick. Otherwise he'll be selecting Trippy T. I'm going to start typing. If he somehow starts typing before I am done, he can get his pick. Otherwise... Alright, looks like Samurai are going to get Trippy T. So Trippy T, actually, I was talking to this guy earlier, so it might not be a bad pick. I was talking to him a little bit. He actually just joined the league today. He just joined the draft pool today. I got added in, so he was asking me a good couple of questions, so I was trying to help him out with that. So he's going to go to Samurai, and that will move us on to Vortex now, and Chipmunk Man will now be on the clock looking for his fourth and final pick.
Whew. Yeah, I'm really curious to see. Just like yesterday, as we get into the bottom of round 3 and all around 4, there's going to be a lot of moves. A lot of people have their eye on certain players, and I think that there's going to be a lot of GMs upset. Hopefully, everybody else gets a little taste of what I'm going through right now. So.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit intense. I know I'm looking at one pick here. I'm hoping Chipmunk Man here, he has 1629 still on his cap. I'm thinking he'll probably go high up. I mean, I don't think it's going to hurt his team at all to go after someone like Conladon, 12 Bram all the way up there. He's still got a bunch of MMR remaining on his cap for his final pick. So he could definitely go all the way up there. I mean, why not take a risk on someone who's, GC potential?
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. And I honestly, if I was a betting man, I'd say that that's probably what he's going to do. And you have the room, why not use it?
Yeah, exactly. I don't see how a high MMR pick like that is going to hurt you, because even if you do go low, I'd say there's a good chance that if, let's say, for example, you go for that 1500 player all the way at the top, and they don't work out, they're inactive, or whatever happens, they don't fit on the team, there's always going to be more champ 3 players, champ 3, champ 2 players that you can always pick up. There's not necessarily always going to be those high GCs that are barely above GC. So
yeah,
we'll have to see what route Chipmunk Man is trying to take.
Oh wow,
Ooh,
that's a name.
Ooh, okay. He's going for the Sheriff here. Yeah, he does have an interesting name there. So he's going for the Sheriff, 1493. So he doesn't go all the way up. He uses a decent amount of his MMR there. So those two guys way at the top are still on the board. 12 Bram Conladon, Alieko still up there as well. So Vortex is going to go ahead and select the Sheriff to round out their roster.
I think he's a good pick. I've heard good things about the Sheriff. I think he's going to bring justice to this league.
Justice, I like it. I have actually played with Sheriff in a different league. I've played with Sheriff before. He is a pretty cool guy, and I think honestly it's a really solid pick for Chipmunk Man, especially as a fourth person there. They're gonna have some good competition because Sheriff is definitely a high caliber player, and he's definitely Vortex. They might be a little bit scary. I'm just looking at their roster there. It might be a little bit scary this season. So Chipmunk Man, he's done a good job with that so far. And with that, it is now gonna be time for myself to be back on the clock here. So Ascension, back on the clock for our final pick. So my roster drafted a 0, as we know, with my fourth pick. He was the fourth overall. Well, the fourth overall pick, and a 0 is also the fourth overall MMR. So with a 0, I already had myself on the roster. I had Proxy in mind, and fortunately enough for me, my fourth pick is still here, and I have 1384 remaining in my cap, and I'm going to use all but one of my cap space there, and I am going to select Phantom's Edge with my fourth and final pick.
I heard the side Jacob. Is that another dagger to the heart for you, or?
No, what makes me upset is it seems as though Austin just happens to have everybody he wants. And, I'm over here struggling to put 2 and 2 together, and my man has everybody that he was wanting. So, am I a little jealous, a little salty? Yeah, I am.
I'd like to say I did some recruiting, did some digging on these people. I think that's probably what I've been the best at. Honestly, the draft yesterday went pretty much to what I thought. I think I only had to change maybe one pick yesterday. I think a lot about GMing. I have GM'd before in a different league. I think a lot of it is finding those hidden gems, because some of these people, especially in the first season, you don't really know too much about all these people. So you kind of gonna have to look around a little bit. And I think I did a little bit of digging, and I think that's what's gotten me to the point where I am right now.
Okay. Super curious to see.
So now I'm on the clock with the motion for 21st overall pick. I only had those three players in mind, and then Ventus, Bravo, and then Dreamless. Now I did a little bit of messaging, and the first person to respond is the player who I'm going to
Mm.
end up drafting. It will leave me with a little bit of room to play with. Hopefully, I can get the last person that I'm looking at here, but hopefully, it doesn't break too many people or too many GM's hearts as they're heading into their last picks. And I'm going to select Piano Addict as
Ooh.
the 21st overall.
I was not seeing that. I wasn't expecting that at all. What went into that? Just the fact that he responded first?
Yeah, just the fact that like I went through. I ended up seeing that um, Hypernova took Trippy T, and then I just started going off the list, trying to do copy paste messages, seeing who would respond first. I didn't even get to the second message, and he responded.
Wow.
Well,
That,
there you
that's
go.
that shows dedication.
Pays to be paying attention. Pays to be at that draft here. So I'm obviously you got someone active, and that's a big thing. That's a big thing to have. So
I see him in the chat, Piano Addict. He definitely looks like he's going to be super active. He looks like he wants it. The drive is there. So you know what? I'm super glad for you. I'm super glad for Piano. Uh, Good job to both of you. I wish you guys the best.
all right, we are actually going to be pulling in a special guest, one of our other media members, another GM. To get a little bit of insight. So we're going to be pulling in. I'm going to pull in the Chipmunk Man here. Chipmunk Man already has his roster complete. So Chipmunk Man, want to tell us a little bit about what was going on with your roster, kind of what went through your mind, and how your picks worked out for you?
Um, well, I mean, Ori's like really good. Like he's actually like really good, even though he's just like in the middle of the pack. And then Team M's just like goaded. Like he's just nuts. When I said he can triple slippery set, I wasn't lying.
Oh my goodness. So you've had this planned out for a while.
Yeah.
You knew these people a little bit farther down. You've done your research. You're confident in these people.
Yeah, and then Sheriff, I just know him, so I just went with him.
Damn. So
I,
looks like you had it pretty much sorted out. So not bad. So our
Yeah.
next pick is actually in. Bishops was on the clock, and we have Cajun Miller's pick, the number 22 overall, and he's gonna go with Guppy for his pick. I believe that is his second to last. That is his second to last for Bishop. So they still have some MMR room to play with right there, just a little bit, but still 1442. So they're gonna go ahead and select Guppy for their third.
that's Guppy's a good pick. I liked what I saw when I was looking at him. So I think that Guppy was a good fit for them.
All right, so Cajun has three, and now we are putting Spectre and Jacob onto the clock here. He's got his third pick to go with Beto and Redwater. Jacob, walk us through what you're thinking right now.
Well, my very first thought over anything is I got to keep this tactical. I have 2943 to work with, right? So I mean, I do have access to all the board, but picking anything, if I pick a high player, it's going to affect my pick here in a couple minutes for round 4. But you know what? I said screw that. I threw that idea out the window. I think that I think that Beto is a good player. I think that Redwater is a good player, and nobody else can complement them better than 12 Bram.
12 Bram. He's going all the way up the board. 12 Bram, 15-46. So 12 Bram, a solid pick. Jacob's going up there. He's going to snag 12 Bram, the number one overall MMR player in the Challenger League.
I'm confident with it. I've done my recruiting. I've had people tell me some good things about him, and I really think that he's going to fit in good with my team.
Nice. So Jacob is rounded out his roster with 3 people so far. So he's got his 3. Still have some cap room left. 1397. So still some room here, and he's going to have another pick to come up very shortly. But for now, we are going to put Corsa on the clock. So they are going to have. Actually, they have. I think they believe this is their final pick because Unique is already on the roster. So this is. Oops. This is. Corsa is now on the clock here for their 4th and final pick. So the Corsa roster at the moment, we have Unique, Stites, and Colrocks. So they still have a little bit of room here to grow. They have 1,400 MMR remaining, so they can select any one from Vanity Bop on down. And it looks like the pick is in. And Corsa is going to go ahead, and they are going to select Kaiser for their pick. Down all the way down to the bottom, the 1344. They're going to go snag him up for Unique's final pick.
That's a good pick. I don't know much about the player, but I've heard a little bit. I think that he has potential. It kind of hurts me a little bit. With only having the 1397, that does limit me. And right now I believe I only have 3 players now that Kaiser's gone. I am recruiting my tail off right now for these guys.
All right. Well, you get a little bit of time. We'll try to fill some time for you because now you're on the clock. Of course, already their 4th pick is already selected and Unique because he's a GM, so he gets automatically placed onto the roster. So their roster is filled out. We have 4 rosters filled all the way out with Vortex, Samurai, Corsa, and Ascension all filled out. So we're just looking for. We got Spectre, Bishops, Motion, and Drakes still to go to fill out the rest of their roster here. So we'll have to see. Jacob he's looking around, trying to figure out who he can go with. You got 3 options right here. You got the Vanity Bop, the Exile, Dongarino, or Flipgator.
What a name, Dongarino.
Dongarino.
I'm gonna ask that I have a minute. I'm super stressed. And I gotta make a decision here.
I actually know all 3 of these. Maybe I can give you a little insight, help you relieve some of that stress. So I know. I know Vanity Bob. I've known him for a while. A little bit of a younger kid, but he's solid. He's grinded his way up here to, you can see, almost Champ 3 at this point when he applied. So he's a pretty solid kid. I know him, and I know his sister actually. So yeah, surprisingly enough, it's anyways,
moving on.
Moving on. We also have Exile Dongarino. I've seen him before. I have talked to him a little bit. He's decently active from what I've seen. And we also have Flipgator, who we talked to in GM interviews. He was a solid contender. We had some really great GM options, and Flipgator is right up there with them, and he might be another solid pick. Obviously, he's committed to the league if you wanted to apply for GM. So I think you got some solid options going here.
Yeah, I have recruited, obviously. I have done my research, my homework on all 3 of these guys. They are all good players. I've looked at their past history with their rankings, and all of them look hungry. All of them want that spot. One is standing out to me at this point, and I'm going to pick him. I don't have any beef with any of these other guys. Honestly, I don't know any of them. I've heard good things about all of them, and what you just said reinforced it with all of them. But just based off of personal decisions and some insight and advice that I'm getting from a few people, I'm going to go ahead and take Vanity. So Vanity Bop is going to be my 4th pick.
There you go. So Vanity Bop heading to Spectre with with Jacob's fourth pick. So rounding out the roster there.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but I do like what I see with Vanity. So I think we can do great things.
There you go. Good to hear. So that's now is going to put Bishops back on the clock for their fourth pick. So we have three more teams, three more picks remaining. There's still a lot of people on the board. If you are still on the board, have no fear. If you don't get drafted, you will be placed as a free agent. And with a league like this, there's often a lot of moving parts. People are inactive. Especially with now that we allow dropping of players for inactivity or trading. There's always options for these players who don't get drafted to participate in the league. So if you don't get drafted, you'll be placed as a free agent, and you are free to sign with any team as long as it fits under the cap. So just stay aware and stay ready for that, because I'm sure a lot of these GMs are going to want to pick up people after we've got a week to kind of see how these rosters turn out. And sometimes with all these picks they just don't work out. So even if you don't get picked, definitely stay tuned.
Yeah, it'd be weird to see that person in a third not get picked. That'd just be insane.
Yeah, I think actually at this point we're going to be at that, because no one else can fit them under the MMR cap with the caps that's remaining right now. So everyone strayed away from picking a high the high 1536 there, and Conladon's going to be put as a free agent for the moment. But the next pick is going to come in from Bishops, and they are going to select Sleepy Nash for their fourth pick.
Sleepy Nash. I don't know a ton about the guy, but I've heard some good things. I think that the Challenger League altogether is going to be very interesting, very grindy. We already have a little bit of beef, and that's fun and everything, but a lot of these players are really good and have a lot of talent.
Yeah, for sure. With the range of MMRs here, we got Champ 2 to low Grand Champ. So it's a little bit of a skill range, but a lot of these players, these are the people that, Champ 3, they're really trying to get to Grand Champ. They've grinded their time out in this game, to get to where they are, and they're right there from pushing into that next level. And I'm sure there's a lot of people, at these, Champ 3, high Champ 2, that can reach, potentially reach Grand Champ, and it'll be interesting to see how they progress throughout the season. So with that, we now have Motion on the clock, looking for their fourth and final pick. So this Motion team is headed by Anonymous. So Anonymous, you've got one more pick here. You got 14-16 to work with. Gives you 4 options there. What are you thinking right now?
Right now, I'm just looking at these 4 players. 2 of them I do know. 2 of them are unknown to me. One of them, one of the probably better teammates I've had throughout my entire Rocket League career. We haven't talked in a little bit, but we do play together. We are known as the G2V2 team with Naturalis.
Okay, so maybe you're going that way. Is that what you're thinking? You're going to take that guy, the G2V2, bring him on your team possibly. Maybe
Concentration.
We'll let him go. We'll let him think here. We can talk a little bit. So yeah, like we said, he's got Anonymous here. He has the room on his roster 14-16, anywhere from what's this guy's name? Noggle, I think we were going with the upside down name. Noggle, Hellcat, Exile Dongarino, and Flipgator. 4 solid people that could potentially get on teams here. They're I'm sure they're probably in chat biting their nails, trying to see if they're gonna get onto one of these 2 final spots. So Anonymous, I'm sure he's messaging around trying to see if anyone will respond and if he can find that that good fit for his team here, because rounding out with that 4th pick, you want to have a 4th pick that can bring you some competition. You don't want your team to necessarily. I mean, it depends on how you want to go about it, but you don't necessarily want your team just to have 3 people and then one person that's just like inactive or a sub necessarily.
Absolutely. I mean, the number 4 pick I would say, is arguably one of the most important picks you have. You know, if if something happens to one of the players, or just for whatever reason, you need to have a solid person that you can count on, and I feel like that's where that 4th pick comes in for a lot of our GMs.
For sure. And it looks like Anonymous, he's ready to go with that 4th pick. Uh, Anonymous, tell us who you've gone with.
I've gone with Flipgator, hashtag G2V2 team. Naturalis did message me trying to get me not to select him, but I just wasn't too confident with the player that he did tell me to draft. I do not want to mention any names on that player, but I just felt like Flip would be the best pick, not for only competition, but for also boosting up team morale. Even when he is not playing on the pitch, he can just come into the stream if the game is being streamed, or just go messaging around after game days and just help bring up team morale when it's needed.
For sure, and that's a great pick. We talked about Flipgator. He's obviously a person that's committed to the league, and I think it's a really solid pick, especially for a 4th one there. So with that being said, we are now down to the final pick of the draft, pick number 32. Drakes are on the clock. We saw Ascension, Vortex, and Samurai already filled up by the GM, so we're waiting on Drake's final pick. They have 1407 remaining. So you got 2 options here, Hellcat and Exiled Dongarino. And Naturalis is going to go right in with the final pick, and they're going to select Hellcat 1943 right there. They're going to bring him on board for their 4th and final pick, and that is going to do it for our draft today. Teams have been all rounded out. So what do you guys think, everybody, with how the draft went? Obviously, we're all 4 of us here in the call are GMs. How do you guys feel the draft went out? Chipmunk, let's start with you. How do you feel that it turned out?
I was good, but I actually have something kind of special. I have Team M with me like right now. He's in my house.
He's in your. Oh, we got it
Yeah.
in your house.
Oh.
Oh boy. So
I might put him on the mic if that's okay.
Put him on the mic. All right, we'll let him go on the mic. We will allow it. We will allow it.
Okay.
Live interview.
Live interview. See how TMN is feeling about getting drafted. See what he has to say. Hello, is that TM right there?
Yeah, this is Team M&M, MVP of the league, predetermined.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, 1326 MMR, lowest in the league. It's fine. Chipmunk man kind of carried him to C3, so kind of bad.
So you got something to prove then, being the lowest MMR player. You got something to show everybody.
Yeah, I was about to get to Champ 3, then I played with my Gold 2 friend, so didn't really work out that well.
Hey, sometimes it be like that, but
yeah, I still blame it on Chipmunk man, but it's fine.
always gotta find someone. It's always the teammate's fault. It can never be your fault. That's just how it works. If you ever a solo queue, never your own fault. Just know that. Well,
Yeah.
Well, it's good having you. Good luck this season. Hopefully, you and Vortex will do some good things. I hope to see you around.
Yep. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, I'm passing it back off.
All right, pass it back off. So, Jacob, how are you feeling about what you ended up with here?
Well, I'm feeling extremely confident. Early in the draft, a lot of my guys got picked, and I was nervous, but after doing some last minute recruiting, looking around, I feel like I ended up with probably, now, don't quote me on this, but you know what? Go ahead and quote me on this. I have the best team in the Challenger League.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Laying some claim. We got some big claims coming out already. So Team N&M, he's already claimed that he's going to be the MVP of the league.
Yeah, MVP of Challenger League.
But Jacob is claiming that he's got the best team in Challenger League. So maybe a little bit of conflict. It's possible to have a MVP not on the champion or the championship team. So could definitely be possible.
Look, 100%. This isn't a claim. This is facts. You know,
Mm.
every week, week in and week out on this very stream, you guys are gonna see Spectre on top, coming in, scoring goals, goal explosion. My team only. This is how it is. Our defense solid, offense solid. You know, we're humble, but we trash talk. That's how we go. You know,
It's the
we're
Rocky,
going to
Rocky
dominate.
Moto.
Yeah.
Gonna dominate. I like it. I like it. So
Except, wait, hold on. Except here's the problem. Me, Ori, and Team M have all been playing together for a year and a half.
mm,
So
you got the
that's gonna be
chemistry.
kind of hard to beat.
Each one of my players has a year and a half worth of experience, so I'm not worried a single bit. We got this in the bag.
We got this. All right, I'll leave it to Anonymous, the one person without any necessarily any beef here. Anonymous, how did you feel about your draft today?
Definitely a bit all over the place here and there. We got some heartbreaks. Sorry, Jacob. Very unfortunate. Rocker Man just coming out here and getting all three players that he wants.
I did, you know, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate the way it worked out, but you know, sometimes it's like that.
It do be like that sometimes. Yesterday it seemed to be not as much, but just a little bit of inside. Maybe tomorrow night will be even more like at its prime almost. But this draft tonight, really well done. I feel like all the teams have a great chance of competing with one another, and then also trying to fight for that top spot in each conference as well.
For sure, for sure. Definitely have to see what we can do. I'm currently looking for a stream to host after this. Let's talk one more time about let's see. What can we talk about while I try to find this out? Jacob, maybe touch a little bit about, you know, other teams you might be thinking it might be a little bit scary to your team. I know you're pretty confident in your team, but is there anyone that you know you've seen that you're looking that might be a little bit of a contender to play against?
Oh, I mean, straight up, without a doubt, my team's got it. But if I had to be scared, or scared's a weak word. If I had to be concerned with any of these guys, um, I don't know. The Drakes, they have, you know, a lot of players that are relatively in the same MMR area, if you will. The numbers are the same. So they may not have a super great player, but they have a ton of, you know, maybe they do, but they have a ton of chemistry just within the numbers. Same goes with Ascension. You know, I
Okay.
I I'm you know, I'm just looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the players. Azuro, he was one of my guys, right? And so that is nerve wracking to me. You know, I had a few players that were taken from me that I thought, you know, would do really good things. Kind of heartbroken, but you know, it doesn't. The thing is, it doesn't matter because I got the squad, okay, and we're gonna rock the clock. You know, uh, nervous or not, it really doesn't matter. We're gonna dominate, guaranteed.
All right. Well, you heard it there, folks.
You know, I don't know what you mean by you're not scared. Like my team will. I mean, Team M can triple flip reset. So like,
I mean,
you should be scared.
All right, guys. All right. I think we'll leave this beef for here. We got some possible rivalry here between Spectre and Vortex. We'll have to see where this is going to turn out. We're going to leave you guys on a cliffhanger. Going to have to watch the regular season, see how these teams are going to battle against each other. But I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a sellout here. If you guys are interested in the league, you're new to the stream channel, check out the panels below. Join the Nemesis Discord. We host 3v3 leagues that take place on Mondays and Wednesdays, as well as Saturday night streams for Saturday Night Rocket League. We have 2 matches on Saturday nights, so we will be consistent with those streams, so definitely stay tuned for those. We also host bi-weekly Sunday tournaments, so you can find all the information you need. It's all in the Nemesis Discord. Join that. Head to the sign-up channel. It'll walk you through everything you need to know about Nemesis and what you need to do with all of that. Otherwise, that's going to pretty much do it for us tonight. So tomorrow night we are having a stream a little bit earlier for a Sunday night stream. We are going to be streaming the Rival League Draft, our third league, top league, 15-50 and up. We got the big boys coming out tomorrow. It's going to be a crazy draft. You guys are going to have to come back. Stay tuned for that. That is going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern. So stay tuned. Be ready for that. It should be another fun one. I'm excited. Thank you guys. Thank you all the casters for joining me. As for everyone else, we are going to be hosting a streamer here. So I want you guys to go over and show this guy a little bit of love, and tell him what's up. Tell him about Nemesis. Show him some love. So, without any further ado, thank you guys for watching, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you, guys.
We're nuts.